let's go rob a racetrack and whatever.
Hey, welcome to the Review, a show where two small-town dudes give you our big, dumb opinions. I'm True Max Extreme.
I'm listening to the washer go.
What a time to start that up while we're doing an intro to...
Who gives a shit? This is the fucking intro to the goddamn Monday show. We probably have like 10 people listening to this thing. Who cares?
We're doing a flashback to Logan Lucky.
Logan Lucky came out 2017. We reviewed this as one of the movies we may have missed in 2017. We're doing it for this week because we're talking about Unlikely Criminals based off The Mule.
That's right. A little companion piece.
Companion.
To Clint Eastwood's The Mule.
Yeah. They're less racist in this, even though they're from the South.
Yeah. From what I remember, I think I enjoyed this movie.
It wasn't too bad. Like, I went back and listened to our review, and I think the thing that I had the most problem with was just that so many of the scenarios in this just happened out of happenstance. But they tried to play it off as like a Ocean's 11.
I see.
Type
well,
scenario.
It was supposed to be like the Ocean 7-Eleven, right? That's what it was billed as?
That's right. You say that in this review, actually.
Oh my god, I remember more than I thought.
You are... You're Troy Stradamus.
I haven't ever gone back to watch it since, but that doesn't mean I have ill will towards it or anything like that. But I'll be curious to what I say in this full-on review right after I see it.
I think you included it as a honorable mention when we talked about our best of 2017, which is actually like the number 5 most listened to show that we have on our podcast so far.
Oh, really? One of the best of?
The 2017 one, yeah. 2018 is below that, which shows how much people give a shit now.
Oh, yeah. Actually have gotten feedback on people like our best of episodes because they end up going a little long and they like just something to listen to during an entire work day.
Yeah. Yeah, like our
it doesn't go 8 hours, but it's a good
it's like a good 3.5.
Yeah. I mean those
especially
are
we get Dave on here where we're all pretty long-winded about what we like.
Yeah. It's an end of the year blowout type deal.
Yeah. It's a good one.
But we're not talking about that.
It's like the Comedy
episode.
Bang Bang 10-hour long episode.
Yeah. I can't even imagine how he did that.
Jesus.
How?
Go back and find that, everybody. Comedy Bang Bang doing a 10-hour long episode.
Insanity.
Ugh.
I know. I think they put it on the feed and they were broken it up in between like 2-hour segments.
Yeah, because they I think it was like they wouldn't allow anything more than 6 hours or something.
I have no idea.
Did
you listen to all that?
I did.
Holy shit! What a feat.
Well, I had to break it into like 9 parts because I was like I would listen to it during work.
Right.
But yeah, they go the whole 10 hours. It's insanity.
My God. Same energy level the whole way through?
No.
Oh my God.
There are some parts where I was kind of waiting for them to end so they get to the next one.
Great.
But yeah. There you go. Comedy Bang Bang, their 10th anniversary 10-hour long episode. Check it out.
But that's not this at all. We're talking about Logan Lucky.
Our dumbass tangents that we go on.
Speaking of dumbass tangents, JT, both you and I had a bit of a conversation.
Yeah.
Last week before we got done recording.
Yeah.
About maybe changing the Monday episode to a little bit of something a little more personable.
Yeah, like what's on our minds, like what's going on in our lives.
Not always necessarily a review of anything, just kind of shooting the shit.
Shooting the shit, yeah. So if you guys want that,
yeah, let us know.
If you guys want that, let us know. Like if we do want to review something like Fast and Furious or whatever, like we'll do that. But unlike
since apparently we're committed to it.
Yeah, we've locked in. But yeah, unlike those off days where it's like we don't have anything else going on. Do you want us just to talk just for the sake of talking?
Yeah.
Let us know.
I think it'd be fun. All we gotta do is like fill like a half an hour. We can bullshit that long easy.
We bullshit that without even trying.
That's right. Let us know at reviewreviewpod@gmail.com or hit us up at reviewreviewpod on the tweeters.
We can call it Toot 'em.
That name is going to need some workshopping, but it'll work for right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, that being said, enjoy our review of Logan Lucky in this flashback episode.
Flashback!
And we will see you next time.
But until then,
toodaloo.
Until then, here's our review of Logan Lucky starting right now.
Enjoy.
So, August 18th, 2017.
Yes.
Year of our Lord. Logan Lucky dropped into theaters with a budget of $29 million. Domestically, it only made $27.7 million.
Yeah.
Worldwide, $46.6 million. Only averaging roughly about $16 million. $17 million.
Gotcha.
But news on that
Oh.
after I get through the ratings.
Gotcha.
Even with the maybe lower movie turnout, Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 93% fresh. IMDb has it at a 7.1 out of 10.
Yeah.
And RogerEbert.com has it at a 3.5 out of 4 stars.
Ooh.
High marks.
Pretty high marks. Could be one of the best movies of 2017, maybe?
We'll see about that. Now, I said wait for after this because that Steven Soderbergh had complete control of Logan Lucky, of its distribution.
Yes.
It didn't go through any other distributor. He did it personally.
Oh, okay.
And so with that, he also had almost the entire movie self-financed. And so any money that they made over the initial budget was all profit.
Oh, shit.
So the $15 million roughly that it made over its initial budget was a win. So smart move.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how Steven Soderbergh decided to do that, but it worked in his favor. Maybe he knew that maybe it's not gonna catch on, but so I'll do this and this and this and this. Worked around a bunch. It's kind of like how Luc Besson did Valerian. I don't think a lot of people went out to go see it, but he also did kind of the same thing where he had it a lot of it was through grants and shit, and then he also self-financed a ton of it. So any money that it made over its initial budget is all profit.
Yeah,
and it didn't matter. So who knows? Even though I don't think they're gonna make another Valerian movie.
Yeah,
which I still kind of want to check it out.
Oh yeah, I'm it's in my queue.
All right,
I want to check it out for sure.
Well, JT, what happened in Logan Lucky?
Well, we follow the Logan family. I can't remember their first names.
I can't remember them either.
But played by Channing Tatum and Adam Driver. Mm-hmm. Adam Driver is a one-armed bartender, or one-handed bartender.
Right.
Yeah. Don't say one-armed.
Don't get that mixed up.
And Channing Tatum is let go of his job working at a racetrack where he's digging a hole or something. I don't know what the hell they're doing with that. But gets fired from his job and decides he's going to rob him.
Yep.
And he gets his brother on board, and through a series of other contacts, including Joe Bang, played by... God damn it. What's his name?
You'll get it. Come on.
Daniel Craig.
Yes.
Okay, thank God. Played by Daniel Craig.
I got the IMDb open right now.
Played by Daniel Craig and the help of Joe Bang's really stupid brothers.
Right.
Perform a heist on the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yep.
To possibly get a whole bunch of money.
Yep. That's it. Even in the movie itself, they refer to it as the Ocean's 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
I thought it was made up after the movie came out, but it's actually said directly in the movie.
Yeah, it is.
Which is funny because Steven Soderbergh directed Ocean's 11. I'm pretty sure he did.
Oh, yeah, he did.
So I was like, Look at that.
That's why people were like excited when this came out, because it's like, oh, he's doing Ocean's 11, but he's using rednecks.
Yeah. And so, spoiler free at first. I thought this movie was pretty fun, except that I would say, and I think this was a complaint of people who went to go see it when it came out.
Yeah.
That the trailers made it seem more fast-paced.
Yeah.
I want to say that was like one of the things being said when the movie came out. I can't quite remember.
Yeah, I can see how people would get that. My one complaint with it was that I feel like that I don't care if like a movie is like slower moving in the beginning and then kind of gets into it from there. Yeah. But I feel like with this movie in particular, like I feel like it's less slow moving and more like it kind of has like small bouts of ADD. Like it'll kind of go off in different directions where I'm like, you don't really need to go there, but all right, I guess I'll follow you and see where it goes.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of turns into nothing, or it turns into something that's very insignificant to the rest of the plot.
Yeah. Well, is there any thing
like Seth MacFarlane?
Oh yeah. See, like
there's a lot of like weird cameos where it's like he wanted people in it, but then they're just like, oh, I'll do it, but I can only be here on this day, and he's like, all right, I'll make it work.
Yeah. See, I didn't mind that as much. I kind of like when they have like a big celebrity cameo.
Yeah.
But there's one near the end, and I don't know if it's considered as a spoiler or not. So I'll just save it for the spoiler section. That I was like...
Is it Hilary Swank?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll save that for later.
All right. Yeah, her thing kind of felt like it kind of got crowbarred in at the end.
Yeah.
Where like instead of having her, they could have just ended it a half hour earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. So the movie was a little bit more slower going than I thought it was going to be. But once I got to the heist stuff, I was really into it. Like when I got actually into doing the actual heists. Even though some of it there is... Because there's a lot of moving parts to make all that happen.
Yeah.
And I thought they were all working pretty copacetically. I was like, okay, this is pretty good. And then, but it just took me a little bit to get into it. Like some of the family stuff that was introduced earlier in the movie. Oh, excuse me, earlier in the movie.
Lord.
I don't think all of it has like a big payoff to even have that set up. Kind of like what you were saying.
Yeah, like I don't know. I didn't mind a lot of the family stuff. Like my two favorite people in the movie are definitely Adam Driver and Daniel Craig.
Yeah,
I think they're like the two best. Like for some reason, I love listening to Adam Driver's character talk. Like he has that very slow drawl.
Yeah,
where like he's got one of those like slow Southern drawls where like even when he's happy, he sounds kind of angry.
yeah, I kind of like that too.
Like I love that scene where like he's trying to convince him to do the heist, and he's like, well, I wake up and I see this list you're trying to make about what you're gonna do, but then I look over and I see you burnt the bacon like I like.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts.
Like it sounds like he's about to bitch about it, but then he just adds on like I like. I love that. Like he just does shit like that all the time. Like he does like these small complaints throughout, but it's done in such a hilarious way. Where it's just like, well, geez, why'd you have to do it like
that? This is also the third movie this year that uses the Take Me Home Country Road song.
Really?
Yeah. Most and every movie that has used it has members of this cast.
Yeah.
So it has this movie used it.
Yeah.
As like pretty like a significant song in the movie.
Yeah. Didn't Guardians use it?
Did Guardians use it? I don't know if Guardians did or not. But
what's the song they played at the end of Guardians?
I don't remember.
Oh no, that was that father-son song. I don't know if Guardians... I want to say Guardians 2 used it in some way.
Well, you can look that up while I'm going over what other. They also use it.
Okay, Google. Was Country Road Take Me Home in Guardians of the Galaxy 2? No, I don't see it.
Well, no duh.
Alien Covenant had it.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Alien Covenant used it as a significant song in it because that's what drew them to that planet, which one of the main stars of that movie is in Logan Lucky as a nurse.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And this song also was in Kingsman 2,
Okay.
which Channing Tatum was also in, which used that as a significant portion when, spoilers, Merlin dies. So...
Okay. I'll look out for that when I see it.
But yeah, all of, like, that's just a weird song to have in 3 different movies this year. That all had to be in production around the same time.
Yeah.
Weird. I like the song still, so.
It's a good song. Let me
I
some
like
John
it.
Denver.
Sure. That's pretty much all I gotta say. I would recommend seeing this movie.
I'd say it's it's a little slower moving, but I mean, I had fun with it. I mean, go ahead and rent it. You can rent it now.
Yeah, go ahead and rent it. That's how we got it.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon streaming if you want to get that, or you can just buy it, I think. So go for it. But yeah, I would recommend seeing it. I think you'll have a good time. If you like a heist flick, I think you won't be disappointed in this.
No, yeah.
And with like the simple-minded people in it, it makes it a little goofier and more fun. And also there's a bug on your shoulder.
It's a box elder bug. It's okay.
Get out of here. Box elder bugs, it's getting too cold. Coming out of hiding.
Yep. They're looking for warmth. They're looking for shelter, Troy.
Your warm heart. It drew him towards you. And your inner glow.
All right, that's enough.
So anything you want to say spoilery about this? Because I do.
Well, I will let you go ahead, and then I will build off of your spoilery thingies.
This movie tried to end like 3 times.
Yeah.
And that's like what I was talking about with the Hilary Swank stuff. I didn't mind like if she just cameoed in the movie.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you're going to come in like right at the end and you're like this big actress? Like, fun. Like, I think that's fun when they do that.
Yeah.
Like when Matt Damon shows up in every movie. Like, I think it's fun. But then instead of ending like right after the heist and like when he goes to like the like when you think he's gave all the money back or whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes to like the pageant where she sings like Country Road Take Me Home. I was like, oh, this is the end.
Yeah.
But then it doesn't end there. Hilary Swank comes in as like an FBI agent and like surveys this whole thing that goes down. And I thought it was kind of gonna be a thing where like, oh yeah, just a little cameo and it takes like 5 minutes and it wraps it up. It's like, we couldn't figure out who did it. They got away.
It's just me. Oh, we're dumb.
I would have been okay with that or whatever.
It's funny because I watched this movie throughout the course of the day today, like when I first woke up and then when I was on my lunch break. And when I watched on my lunch break, I had 10 minutes left before I had to turn it off and go to work. So I watched the last 10 minutes when I got off work and I was like, holy shit, a lot happens in those last 10 minutes.
Yeah, it does. And then, after that, when you think it's going to end there, then you realize that they did keep the money and they shysted the dumb brothers out of the money.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, then it's going to end here. And then it goes on again to like a bar scene where it wraps everything all up.
Yeah.
And then Hilary Swank is sitting at the bar.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ! End the fucking movie! What do you think this is? Fucking Lord of the Rings? Jesus. But I think...
But I like that where like she showed up and then like they pan back and then it's fucking Adam Driver's fake arm that got stuck in the machine holding the beer in the back where it's like, oh, she knows.
Yeah. Well, she was on to him the whole time and she thinks something's fishy. And I didn't catch this. It was like IMDb trivia that reminded me of it. But in the beginning, Adam Driver says like the Logan luck. Like anytime something good is happening, it ends up shit in the bed or whatever.
Yeah.
So now that they did end up getting all this money and everybody's happy, unbeknownst to them, there's
someone's gonna come
Hilary
in and
Swank there,
over.
like I'm on to you bitches, and then the movie ends, which I thought was like, okay, that's pretty smart in retrospect. Now that I see that,
like they're good at what they do, but then in the end, there's always gonna be something that makes the shoe drop where they get fucked over,
right?
Regardless,
right. But other than that, I really, besides like it's kind of slow moving once it gets into the heist, I was really enjoying it.
Yeah.
But if it did end with like him not like taking any of the money, I was like, what the fuck?
I know. Like it felt like he did it for no reason too. Like he just parked the truck and left. And I'm like, I didn't see any sign of you even thinking about giving up the money. Like that, it wasn't even like a big like reveal for me where it's like, oh shit, he didn't give up the money after all. Or I was like, no, I kind of figured he kept something. Yeah. So that whole thing where like they couldn't keep track of the money that they lost,
right? Because
they knocked out the credit card machine,
right?
But I also want to get into that because like the big twist in the end is that they were pretty much Daniel Craig forces them to use his dimwit brothers in the heist,
right?
So they try and find ways to fit him in there, and then the big reveal at the end is that everything they gave him to do was kind of like used like a pointless thing, so they could do the heist themselves and then make them feel important,
right?
But they did have a job they had to do that was important though, because they had to blow up the transformer for the credit card machines. Because they didn't do that, then it would have been kind of fucked.
Right. Yeah, everyone needed to be where they needed to be in it for this to work.
But the fact that he included them was kind of goes beyond. You don't leave anything in play that's going to fuck up your plan. And those two were definitely fuck ups.
Yeah.
So then that was why the whole reveal of like, oh, so we made sure that even if they fucked up, like we would still have done the job.
Right.
But they still had that important job where they had to knock out that transformer to knock out the credit card machines. So he did trust them, even though they showed at the end like he never trusted them. Like, no, he did. He had to trust them for this, though.
Yeah.
Like if they would have revealed like, oh, that was just to like, we had that all planned out all along that this is gonna blow up, but we gave him this thing to make him feel important. Yeah, I would have liked that, but no, if they would have fucked that up, then your plan would have been fucked altogether.
Yeah.
Because they would have been able to count the money, and so they would have known they would have stolen from them.
Right.
And people would have used credit cards, so he wouldn't have got as much money.
Right. Yeah, it did hinge on that. But, like, I guess that wouldn't be, like, a huge... Like, I guess that one's not, like, a deal breaker to me, because I guess, in my mind, somebody else could have gone and done it. Because they needed that to get started. So if it didn't start, then they're like, well, I guess we go home. Like...
Yeah, but... yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Yeah, I could probably see that then. Because, like, going through this, like, it felt like he was... Like he was trusting those brothers way too much, and it felt like a very, like it was something like a small little tick in their plan where I'm like, why are you trusting these guys so much with so much stuff? Like you're talking like you're so smart, but then you have these dimwits like working for you, but then at the end when they showed that like everything they were doing was like around like behind their backs being like,
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, they were like oh, they're way too dumb, there's no way in fuck we're trusting them with anything.
Right.
Like even send them off with like a bunch of like, they send them off with money, but then they like collected a whole bunch of money behind their back so they can keep that and then like get caught with that shit later.
Right. I didn't find like their whole thing like really, I guess like that damning, I suppose. Like none of their stuff was like overly complicated. What I thought was overly complicated was the prison heist. That was like, or the prison escape and then re-entry.
Yeah, there was a lot
of moving parts in that had to make that work.
And there was a lot of like luck hinging on that also, because they do like a whole thing where they almost had to count on the warden being so hard-headed.
Right.
Because there's no way that once that riot started, he wouldn't have called help to just like break it up.
Right.
Which they could have easily have done, and then they wouldn't be able to get back in because their whole thing of getting back in was setting off the fire alarm so they could ride the fire trucks into the prison.
Right. And just the fact that like Adam Driver had to like get to prison for some reason. Why did he have to get to prison?
Well, he was working with Daniel Craig to like work out the plan of what they were going to do inside, because they couldn't talk when they were out in the like at those tables or whatever, because the cops are watching him. So he was working out the plan with him.
Oh yeah,
inside.
I suppose. Yeah, I guess you're right. But then like their plan was like they make like a slight reference to the water in that county like makes you sick.
Yeah.
And so like Daniel Craig like downs a bunch of water in that workroom
yeah.
to like hopefully make him sick. So he ends up puking on the warden's shoes to go to the nurse.
Yeah.
For then the whole inmates in the cafeteria start a fight, so they lock down the prison so that he could get away from the nurse to go escape from the bathroom.
Yeah.
Which, how did he know that behind that paper towel dispenser you could get out?
Yeah.
And then he ends up escaping and then ends up coming back to the fire department and then just ending up back in the bed, and the nurse is like there like, oh, did you have a good nap or whatever it was?
Yeah.
It's like that had a lot of moving parts to it that...
Yeah.
It was fun, but like it could, any thread pulled on that could fuck it all
like
up.
the thing I like about like Ocean's 11 is like it feels like it like the whole thing is like all thought out and very planned out. Where like even when it feels like there's like cogs in the machine starting to fall apart, like that was part of the plan all along.
Right.
And they make it make sense. Like in this, it felt like there was a lot of luck and just like people's motivations that they were not that there's no way in hell they could have expected,
right,
that helped them throughout it. Like the warden being so hard-headed that he was like, no, we don't need help, we'll just wait it out. And then with them like lighting the fire to like set the fire alarm off, he was like, oh, I guess better call the fire department. I was like, so why are you changing your mind on this but not changing your mind on the fact that you needed help with this riot earlier?
Yeah.
Like it was just like weird motivational things like that. Like it was way too convenient for their plan to come together.
Yeah, and even to the point where Channing Tatum's character, like, he didn't pay his phone for, like, 3 months, so they couldn't track his cell phone because they shut it off.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't pay it, so they shut off his cell phone.
Yeah.
So the FBI was like, well, track that guy's phone. Oh, he didn't pay the bill, so he couldn't track it because it wasn't on. It's like, that's lucky.
And then at the end when he did it again to see when they would stop tapping his phone, because he stopped paying his phone bill, and he's like, yeah, it stayed on for like another month, and then it went off, so then I figured they weren't tapping my phone anymore.
I was like, did you, like, doesn't Adam Driver, like, make note of that? Like, well, that's kind of lucky.
Yeah.
Or whatever, and he's like, yeah. Or did you come up with that yourself? Yeah. It's like, oh, all right. That's something I would have never thought of.
Yeah. But I didn't mind that.
I didn't mind that so much either. But it is just like another thing of like coincidence and luck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I guess plays into the title of the movie, like Logan Lucky or whatever. Yeah. But
like they're like it's a thing where like they fall into happenstance and they're able to pull off these heists and they're really good at it. But in the end, it all unravels with like one small thing.
Right. I don't think I have much of anything else. Like, once the heist starts going, there's not like that many spoiler things in it, so
yeah,
they end up getting the money in it. But yeah, well, like I said before, like when they shows like when the brothers are off, like the Dum Dum brothers are off doing whatever, and it shows like all the shit that was happening when they were like out of the picture, and like all the money that went to the garbage, which there's another guy on the inside that was a garbage truck driver who had to dig it up at a junkyard or whatever, and then they took the money, and it's like, that was pretty smart. Yeah. I like that. That was fun.
There was that whole weird side story with fucking Winter Soldier and Seth MacFarlane.
Oh, yeah.
It came out of nowhere. Like, I had no idea where they were going with it.
Yeah.
Because they just cut to, like, the race car, like the race car like commentary team like talking about this one particular race car driver, and then like let's go into a story about his life.
Yeah.
And they go into it. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing right now? And they go on about like Sebastian Stan's character and about how like he's keeping his body 100% like toxin free and like doing yoga and shit and like treats his body like a machine and all this stuff. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like, what are you going on about?
Yeah.
And then they cut to like his pit crew, and Seth MacFarlane plays like his like the head of his pit crew, or like the lead fucking advertiser for like his sponsor or energy drink, and he makes him drink some of it, and then like he's like, oh, my body's shutting down, and then he fucking crashes.
Yeah.
Which causes him to like not point out Adam Driver's character, because Adam Driver and his brother got into a fight with him in the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, I
like it was such a weird off the cuff subplot that only made up like maybe a 10-second thing in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like we had to watch like 3 or 4 minutes of shit for this like 10-second scene of like, oh shit, Seth MacFarlane's gonna point him out. Oh no, but his race car driver friend is not going to do it because he's pissed at him because he made him drink an energy drink.
I think it was more than 3 or 4 minutes too, because like you have to like set it up where Seth MacFarlane came to the bar first, and talked to Channing Tatum, and then Adam Driver, and then they like light his car on fire. That's like 5 minutes almost itself.
Yeah,
and then like they set up more with Sebastian Stan for that part to work.
Yeah,
it's like probably
there's so much
7, 8, 9 minutes are dedicated to just
like
a 10-second payoff.
There's a big chunk of this movie all set on like Seth MacFarlane and Sebastian Stan and their relationship and how it correlates with this. That's like only amounts to a small false thing of like, oh, Seth MacFarlane recognizes Adam Driver, but no one believes him because the race car driver guy's pissed at him and said that he didn't see them to fuck over Seth MacFarlane.
Right.
The end. That was all that was part of that. That was the whole thing of that.
Yeah.
Where like,
but I did like the Sebastian Stan parts, the whole like interview thing with him, where he's like, my body is like a machine, and I'm like, I kind of like this for whatever reason.
He's doing like this weird yoga, and Seth MacFarlane has this weird Australian accent for no reason.
I couldn't place what accent he was trying to do at all. I was like, what the fuck? Where is this guy from? And he has like the world's worst like Jerry curl haircut.
Like it took me like a good 5 minutes before I'm like, that's Seth MacFarlane. Like he just had this weird wig and shitty facial hair, and
he,
then like
vanished into his role. He's such a good actor.
Yeah, but it just seemed like who's this weird fuck? And then you're just like, oh, yeah, he kind of sounds like an Australian Brian. It's definitely Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Well, that's good. I don't know. You got anything else to say about Logan Lucky?
I don't know. Like, in the beginning, I was kind of a fan of Channing Tatum and his daughter's relationship. Like, when they were, like, kind of going back and forth with each other.
Uh-huh.
Like, I was kind of a fan of that.
I liked him and his relationship with his daughter.
Yeah.
I couldn't follow. Who was the girl at the hair salon? Is that his sister?
That's his sister.
Fuck. Because, like, for whatever reason, I couldn't place, like, how she was related to Channing Tatum. I was like, is that Channing Tatum's girlfriend? And then Katie Holmes is his ex-wife. And then Roy from The Office is, like, her new husband or something?
Yeah, that's Katie Holmes' husband. Yeah.
Or boyfriend, or I don't know who it is.
But it's so weird because it makes... They did something with Katie Holmes. She had like one of those deals too where she was like, I can't do a lot of filming for this movie. So it's like, all right, just show up when you can. So they did like 2 cameos with her where she's supposed to be like the mom who's taking care of this kid.
Right.
But like she's not on there, and they try and portray Channing Tatum as an absentee father where it's like he's too busy working to be able to take care of his daughter. So like the one that's taking care of the daughter the most is his sister.
Yeah.
Where it's like, where are your fucking parents? Like your mom's off doing God knows what. Your dad is off doing whatever. All you're being taken care of is your aunt or the fucking boyfriend of your mom who's like too obsessed with his cars or going to see the new the Fast Furious movie.
Yeah. I also heard that Katie Holmes was a last minute like replacement for who was going to be in this movie because Katherine Heigl was supposed to be in as that role, but she got pregnant and couldn't do it for whatever reason.
Gotcha.
Being pregnant.
Yeah. Because it felt like a role where it's like, I feel like you should be doing more in this, but it's like...
But then when you think about, like, what else would she would have done?
Yeah, exactly. But it's like every scene where, like, the daughter's in, like, the mom's not there. Like, it seems like that one scene where she's there, like, it seems like the mom's there for her more than the dad is. But, like, she's in it less than the dad is. So then you're like, so who's your parents? Like, who's taking care of you?
Yeah. And anytime do you see Katie Holmes here, you're just like, ugh. Because I am.
Yeah, I don't care.
Like, she answered the door, and I was like, really? God.
Yeah, there's just so many roles where it's just like, they don't really... Like, Catherine Waterston's character, she just shows up for like 5 seconds and flirts with Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, oh, I like her. I'm going to give her a shit ton of money.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, I like, I guess, when, like, bigger actors, like, just do small roles, like, stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
like, I always think that's kind of cool.
Or the bank employee whose birthday got ruined. Like, how did he know that she ruined her birthday and was, like, able to give her a bunch of money?
I don't know. Pull too many threads, this movie falls apart.
I know. It's just, there's so many things where it's like why is he giving her, like, how does he know her? Like, all the only scenes you see her in is when she's like, everything that they're doing with their plan is fucking up her life because all she wants to do is celebrate her birthday, and they're like blowing cockroaches on her birthday cake and shit, and like everything they're doing is fucking up her life. And then at the end, she gets a big duffel bag full of money. I'm like, how'd you know she existed?
Yeah. She would have probably been that happy if she just got more cake.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just pan down and showed a duffel bag full of cake.
She's like, yay!
Oh my god,
fun! It's confetti cake. I'm having fun. But yeah, that's good. I like that it was set in like West Virginia. It had like a southern drawl to the whole movie.
Oh yeah.
That was fun.
I know. When I worked those wrestling shows, like more closer to Southern Illinois, like everyone talks like that.
Oh really?
Yeah. Like Illinois is a weird fucking state. Like you get past a certain point, and you go from like how we talk to talking like this.
It's like I noticed that it's all over the place, and then you get in like Chicago, and they have their own thing going on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like, what is happening?
Yeah, Illinois is a weird fucking state. Not that we're from here.
Or wherever we are. Who knows? But that's pretty much all I got to say about Logan Lucky.
Oh, yeah.
I do recommend seeing it. Like, purchase it? I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah.
It is a good... Like, I like it, but I don't see, like, as much replay value in it.
Yeah.
Like, once... Like, that's how it is for almost, like, any heist movie, I guess. Mm-hmm. Like, once, like... You see how the inner workings went, you're like, oh, all right. Cool. Well, yep. I won't watch that again. And you throw the DVD behind you or whatever it is.
Yeah. You skeet shoot it. Pull!
Dust your hands of it. But, I don't know. For me, probably not ever going to watch this again. I would still probably give it like a solid B.
Yeah, I'll give it a B. I had fun enough with it as it was.
Yeah, it was good. It held my attention once it started to really get going.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just was kind of slow moving and it was fine. It was a solid flick.
Yeah. Is it going to make your list?
No spoilers. We'll see.
Oh no.
All right. Solid B. Sweet deal, JT. Hey, thanks for listening. If you want to join us on social media, do so at Review Pod on Twitter. If you happen to be a Facebooker, do that Review Pod on Facebook. You can find us at our host site at reviewreviewpod.podbean.com, but you don't have to listen to just there. We are also on a multitude of platforms such as Google Podcast, Alexa devices, Stitcher,
and Apple Podcasts. If you happen to be an Apple user, rate and review us there, because if you like the show, that helps other people find the show as well. If you want to write in, do so at reviewreviewpod@gmail.com. Thanks for listening again. We'll see you next time.
And we're off.